think we got it, Janie.
Okay.
And we're live.
We're
All right.
live.
It's not coming out the speakers. I'm getting you on the computer.
Okay.
All right.
Hey.
Now let me just double check on my. I don't know. I needed to restart the whole system. I don't know why that happened. Let's just. I don't know. I needed to restart the whole system. All right, Janie, just say something so I can hear you on my phone, just to make sure. I don't know why that happened.
Okay. Well, I'm right here.
Let's just.
I don't know.
I needed to restart the whole system. All right, Janie, just say something so I can hear you on my phone, just to make sure. I don't know why that happened.
Okay. Well, I'm right here. It's still going?
I don't know. I needed to restart the whole system. All right, Janie, just say something. Okay. All right.
We're good?
I believe we are good. Adam? No echo, correct? You can hear Janie?
Hey.
Thumbs up, guys, if you can hear Janie. You can hear me. No echo. I believe we are good.
You are amazing. You are a technological genius.
That was just... I went too deep into the tech side, and I just needed to restart the whole system.
Well, that's my solution to everything technological.
Perfect. All right, we're good. Yay. All right, guys. We're going to start from the beginning because that was an S show. So here we go again. Here's the intro. There's my logo. There's Janie logo. The show will begin shortly, but we're already here. We're going to get this going. Thank you for our sponsors, TNA Tackle. Check them out at TNA Tackle on Facebook, YouTube, and TNATackle.com. You'll be able to see what stores carry them.
That thing headhunted it. Look at that. Just got
still,
all the dragon.
Well, we'll just go as far as we can.
Thanks to Joel over at Rocky Point Tackle and Dave Legacy Guide Service. Facebook, Rocky Point Baits and Blades. Also, www.davelegacy.com. Pretty cool, very knowledgeable, fun-loving guy. Walk blade, Southeast Wisconsin. Check him out. I know that blade attachment and Brooker Rattler is on my rod right now for opener. So, with that, like I said, we're starting this from the beginning. Unfortunately, there was a bad accident, and bam, here we go. Too much. A bad accident involving, I believe the husband, unfortunately. A Flight for Life helicopter crashed in Oneida County on April 26th. Devin, part of TNA Tackle, she's putting together a raffle for donations. Unlimited spots, I believe $10 a piece. 3 separate packages. There's so much to name in these packages. There's going to be 4 or 5 winners, I believe. 3 winners of the package. 1 winner for whoever buys the most spots, which includes an Elk River Musky rod. 3-night stay at Pyre's Paradise, either spring, winter, or fall on 3 Lakes Chain, 3 Lakes, Wisconsin. Too much to name. Go check it out. If you can't find it on Musky Stars, PM me, PM Devin. We'll be able to get you to the to the page. And now back to our featured presentation. Janie, welcome. Finally having you on the show. I know we talked at the Southern Wisconsin Muskie Expo. Joel introduced me to you. And
yes, he did.
That
was a lot of fun.
That was fun. That was a fun show. That really was. So now my burning question to you, because we were talking intermixed all the BS of tech stuff. How's the ice up north?
Well, today was 75, and just like down south, it was really, really windy, which really put a dent in it. Unfortunately, there's no way the larger lakes are gonna open. But those that have any current, I was down by the Mantush River today, and I talked to, I saw Becky Whitman. She let me know that Fish Trap was opening up where the river runs out. The river's open there, but it's really changed in the last couple of days. They had 22 inches in the front, and that's gotten really punky, and it's basically gone. So with this wind and the thunderstorm that's supposed to come through tonight, it's all looking positive, really positive that we're going to have some water anyways. So it wasn't looking that good earlier in the week.
So there's still, there could be icebergs or a decent amount of ice on some of the bigger lakes without any currents.
The bigger, like trout, there's still over 20 inches of ice, and it hasn't really pulled away from the shorelines yet. So those bigger lakes, we need more help. So keep your prayers out there because we need as much help as we can get.
So guys, grab your blowtorches, start going out there. Let's go get the kayaks. Let's bust this up.
We need it. We need it. It's pretty bad. I mean, a couple of years ago we had this issue, like 2014, where, but at least some of the smaller lakes opened up, and it wasn't looking good at the beginning of the week. But now we're looking better, and once you get under that, you get 12 inches, it breaks up really fast. If it honeycombs and rain will really, really help us tonight. So let's keep our fingers crossed. We're optimistic here, so we have some water.
You guys have hope. You guys have hope. I know down here in the southern part of the state, we're good. We're ready for this weekend.
And you have everything opening, don't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure about the northwestern part of the southern zone.
Okay.
And I think that's like Highway 29. I don't even know what kind of city's over there. La Crosse, maybe?
Yeah.
I think
we don't. Once you get hot above 29 or 8 or whatever that break is, ours doesn't open, and our Musky doesn't open until Memorial Day weekend.
So you guys have, 3 weeks still?
Yeah, which is good because usually they get in, spawn, get off, and they start to recoup then. Mm-hmm. We start to get that first week in June. They're usually chasing and just slower. It all depends on the water temperatures, how fast the water's going to warm up.
And it might be a little bit colder start this year.
It looks that way based on what I'm looking at.
You can still go ice fishing right now.
On some of the lakes, you definitely can. Any of the shores on the north side are pulled away, and that's gotten really iffy that you couldn't go out on. But some people are on the south sides of lakes where it's still pretty landlocked, and on the west sides of lakes, it's tight on some of our lakes up here. But the last 2 days have made an impact, and we can only hope. We can only hope that it pulls away more. But everything's gonna be behind up here. So
guys, it sounds like if you're planning to go up north for the northern opener, kind of keep in touch with a local bait shop or something like that. Just in case.
Yeah,
I'm
at Northern Highway Sports, and I'm getting phone calls all the time. People were planning trips. I know a bunch of the guides canceled because they didn't want to put their customers in a situation. So they, they're just better safe than sorry, and the customers rebook. So it's a good thing, but it's just so iffy.
True. So we got Adam Liebersbach. Tell Janie, Adam, and Janelle from Musky's Matter Inc. say hello and thanks for her support every year. Wonderful baits made by a wonderful person.
Oh, thanks. They had a big tournament banquet, and it sounds like they did a super job. Sounds like they had a great fundraiser. So
good.
So kudos to them.
Good to hear. So Janie, now that I got that burning question off my chest because you wouldn't answer it during the the technical difficulties, I was in suspense. So how did you get into musky fishing? I'm not gonna lie, it's a little odd to women are a rare breed in the musky world. What got you into it? How did you start?
I started musky fishing actually when I moved to Boulder Junction.
Okay.
I grew up lake and in Minocqua. I'm originally from Minocqua, so I grew up there, and I fished for a lot of different species, but muskie wasn't really on the radar at that point. But when I moved to Boulder, since Boulder Junction's the muskie capital of the world, you know, the first thing you have to do is catch a muskie. So, so you know, out I went. So Palmer Lake is known for being a great lake here in northern Vilas County for, you know, for action, and it didn't prove its legend wrong. It was a lot of fun out there.
So, when you got your first muskie, how big was it? And then what did you catch it on?
Actually, it was in the mid-30s.
Okay.
Probably 30, a pretty average fish at that point, right around 34, 36 inches. Palmer's a real shallow lake, full of weeds.
Okay.
So it's gotten a lot better in the past. I got it on a Rizzo Whiz that I had gotten from Tony Rizzo.
Bam. You can't. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a classic right there.
It is. It's a classic. He gave me the color. He was all over it. So he nailed it.
That's awesome. So you grew up fishing your whole life, I take it then?
Yeah, I did. I started out with pan fishing, walleye. I love bass fishing. I still bass fish. I got into fly fishing.
Okay.
And that's actually how I started my business. Was I started tying flies, and I was doing that for myself, and then people were wanting flies from me for, you know, those patterns they couldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, they're old patterns and stuff like that. So I just started doing that, and then I got into fly fishing for muskie, since that was the next kind of thing. And back in the late '80s, that was a really popular thing, and it is. It's a rush because it's a little different. It's more one-on-one because you're not fishing with that heavy a tackle, you know.
Yeah. I just don't want to go out there swinging flies all day for muskies. I can't bring myself to do it.
No, it's an arm breaker, a chuck and duck. I did it in the spring of the year, pretty much when they were up shallow and they were pretty active. You know, after the spawn, first part of June, they were they were pretty active, and yeah. Otherwise, my shoulder doesn't handle that anymore.
I could not do that. So yes, you your company was Janie's Flies, correct? That was, and then you.
It was.
Okay, and then now it's Janie's Custom Tackle because, well, it's more than just flies. People, check it out.
It is. I don't even do flies now. It's I do a lot of I have the ram it, the jam it, the slam it, and the new bait, the wham it.
The wham it?
Wham it.
What's the wham it?
It's a twin-armed 1 ounce headless spinnerbait.
Okay.
With tinsel, but it's got twin arms on it, so you can run it traditionally, you know, over weeds, around weeds, but you can also, in that same drift, turn around, pitch it out over the deep water, and kind of jig it on the way back, because those blades, it comes with 2 French blades, so what they do is they just clack, and it just really swings when it falls.
Oh,
so you can use, you know, like a snap retrieve to it,
yeah,
kind of count it and snap it. So you can essentially fish that same bait both shallow and deep. You know, pitch one side of the boat, turn around, pitch it off the other side. So
the wham it.
It's unique outside. Be very, very quiet. Well, husky.
So, did you start? You said you started with flies first. Did you start with like trout flies and bass flies, or more traditional patterns of flies, and then eventually into musky pike flies, and then did that just transition into bucktails?
Correct. From there, I love the fly fish, but after the chuck and duck type of thing for a while, my shoulder went out. So then I still love fishing weeds. It's probably I just love slop. I just love getting all that crap. It's just the best scenario because you never know what you're going to catch in there. So I love fishing slop, and that's why the Ramit came out. It's a weedless inline bucktail.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks, it's got a 3/4 ounce basically by the time it's, you're putting a plastic on it. But what makes it unique is it's got an inline, so it's like a standard bucktail with the weight system, but it has a EWG hook on it. It's a Superline Gamakatsu EWG hook, which means it's an extra wide gap like you would use for bass.
Yes.
So you can use any plastic you want on there. You can change the vibration by putting a shad body. It comes with a buzztail shad on it, which is made in Florida for me. It's Producto is the company. They've got some really unique plastics, and this was one, and it was perfect for that bait because the tail actually is split, so it buzzes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very weedless when it comes through. You can cast in the cabbage, coontail, wood, pencil reeds. I actually use it mat fishing too because you can cast it right over those mats, and
And you have the plastic just cover up the hook, kind of just like your Texas rigging.
Right.
So it will stay
Absolutely.
weedless.
It is. It stays completely weedless that way.
So I know Joel talked about this so much, about using this on Pewaukee, because he has the utmost confidence in the weedless aspect of it, and, well, you're awesome, so that's another factor. But that, where can we purchase these?
You can get them. I'm in a variety of stores.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at Dick Smith's in the southern part of the state.
Okay.
So back at Dick Smith's Live Bait and Tackle. I'm in St. Croix. I'm in Ashland at Anglers All. If you go on my website, I'm in a variety of stores. I'm in about 20 stores, and they're all listed.
Okay.
And if there's a lure that you can't find, go on my website, and my phone number's there, my email's there. If there's something you want a different color, just give me a call, and we can always make that happen. Because sometimes you don't get exactly what you want at the stores. They don't always carry, the one color you're looking for, and you'll notice on the website I do have a lot of colors. So it gives you lots of options, and plus the fact that with the weedless style, there's a Ramit mag. The standard Ramit, just to go back a little bit, Colin, the smaller version is a 4/0 Superline hook, so it'll take any 4-inch split belly plastic that you can get. So it's really easy to replace the plastics.
Yeah, with a whole variety of different styles of plastics.
Right. And then you've got the Magnum size, which with the Magnum, it has a 6/0 EWG Gamakatsu hook. So the Superline hook. So it's super sharp, and the 6/0 is going to take a 6-inch plastic, anything that you find in a split belly. So you can always change up your color combinations, and it really diversifies the bait because, the plastic just, it gives you different vibration with the paddle tail versus a split tail, or, some of the new innovative plastics. They've got some really modified shads that fit on it really good. Anything with the plastic, but you can always order online through me if you can't find it. If you like the buzz tails and you can't find those readily, you can reorder the plastics also on my website. So
perfect. That was actually my next question, because I don't know if I've ever seen those styles of plastics. Maybe once in a blue moon, but I was just wondering, and now we know.
Yeah.
Get them on our
They
website.
do have Northern Highland Sports, and they have a pretty good selection as well up at Turtle River in Madison, or excuse me, in Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a really good, Scott's got a really good selection of them there too. And he also carries these awesome frogs. They're the split, they've got split tails on the frogs.
Okay.
Same way. And you can put those on the Ramit or the Jamit when you're throwing them in that slop. And I just found that muskies love frogs.
Yeah.
So that gives you another little option to it to give it a different. Hello.
Someone is barking, I guess. Oh, there's the other one. Yep. Yep, the whole zoo's going crazy. So Stephanie Eberhardy, we love you, Janie. Awesome fisherwoman.
Oh, sweet.
Adam Swiklinski. So is there a black and orange combo blade bait? Asking for a friend.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
There's a if you want a twin, because the regular Ramit is the 4-aught hook, and it's going to be about an 8-inch long bait by the time you put the tail on it. When you go to the Magnum, you're going to get longer. You're going to get closer to that 10 inches or whatever. And with that, it comes with two blades. I use French blades because they're very weedless, but they also give out a tremendous amount of vibration. And to me, when you're in the slop, it's all about vibration. It's less about the flash that you get from. I do make them in tinsel, but I think the silicone skirt, it's heavier. It's more resilient to a lot of different things. But that model comes with an orange and silver blade, and it also comes with the skirt on it is going to be a combination of orange and black, and then it's got a black replacement.
The tail?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the Slam-It, unfortunately my picture's a little blurry. The Slam-It, does that have a treble hook on the end?
The Slam-It is a hybrid bucktail. Yeah, it is. It's
okay.
Just a little different. It's really heavy for its compact size.
Okay.
It's weighted with a standard weight up front with a 3/4, that standard like MEP style in the front.
Yeah.
And then it's also got it's got an egg weight on it also, so it'll actually fall horizontally.
Okay. So it's okay. I see what you're saying. Yep. So it's not butt heavy or really head heavy. Because I know a lot of bucktails with just the egg sinker in the back. The butt or hook end tends to ride really low, and it just comes in at an angle.
Right. This one I weighted in the front and the back, so it tends to, and with the smaller blades, because I use again the French blades. So with the two of those, you don't get a lot of rise out of it, like you do some big blades. So it'll run a little deeper, and again, it casts like a rocket because it's so compact and got some weight to it.
And then the Jamit, the weedless inline. I like that inline. I do like that.
There wasn't one of those again, and I came out with it first in that smaller size. I always come out with them in a smaller size first. And then it was really popular because of the same fact. You can run it over those mats, and I've had fish come right through those milfoil mats, come right through and take it. It goes right through lily pads, and you can stop it on a lily pad, start it back up. The bass love it in the smaller size. Muskies love it. Northerns love it. So then I came out with it in the Magnum also. The design of it actually has a round weight that goes around the shaft of the bait. So it actually is designed that it rattles also. So besides the blade itself, the prop itself, you've also got, this weight on the back that's vibrating back and forth and giving out more vibration back on the hook.
Explain that weight again. Is it casted around the wire shaft?
It's casted with a hole in it, so it's kind of like a little disc, and it's kind of about the size of a dime, but it's a little over a quarter ounce.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, its diameter is enough that it'll slide over the wrap, and it'll actually rattle right on the wrap.
Okay. So
So it's like
big clacking, soundy, vibrating things on the Jammet.
Yeah, the smaller version, the standard Jammet has one weight plus the rest of it, and then the Magnum has two of those.
Okay.
I was going to get one big weight, but then it didn't vibrate as much. So with the two of them, they really activate. Yeah. So
Okay. We have Karen Geiger. If I butcher your last name, I apologize. Listening to you, buddy. Great info for all that love fishing. My great sister-in-law.
Yep, that's her.
Stephanie Eberhardy again. Janie is the fish master. Check out her hooks, baits, guaranteed to be a success. We got a question coming in from Michael Kane. Is there a certain kind of slop that is better for musky fishing?
It all depends kind of on the lake, but I really like getting into that area where it's early in the season. Pencil reeds, they like working that area. First of all, because they're coming off of spawn, it's warm water, and the fact that you're going to get crappies up there about that time too.
Okay.
So early in the season, I like that pencil reed, and off of the pencil reeds, it often will turn to coontail on a lot of the lakes.
Okay.
So I like fishing that kind of area, but I'm a real lily pad kind of person too. So it all depends. I'll start over in the pencil reeds, but I do like getting into because early in the season the lily pads just aren't here yet.
Yeah.
But so with the surface ones, that's where I am. When it comes to the rammets, I'm into cabbage. I just love cabbage. Broadleaf, you don't have to try to hit the pockets with the rammet. You can run it right through, and you're not keeping it on the surface. You let it go right into the thick stuff and drag it right through.
So pretty much if you're not bringing up weeds every cast, one, fix your tail on the rammet, and then two, you're not in thick enough stuff.
Right. Because the great part is with the new high-tech lines that are out there now,
Mm-hmm.
you'll feel the bait kind of bouncing off of the thick stuff.
Okay.
It's awesome. Yeah, you can feel those weeds as it's kind of bouncing, and the blade just it doesn't hesitate the blade, which is cool because you're just maintaining its speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just glides right through those.
And then even if your blade does get wrapped up in weeds, you still have that buzz tail that you said that still creates a tremendous amount of vibration off the back end of that bait.
It does. It's all about vibration to me, just because with the lateral line, they feel that more than they see it. And when you're in that slop, the way I look at it is they're feeling it, and it's more of an instinctive bite. They're not following it as much. They're just turning on it.
Plus, they probably can't see it that good if it's, really,
right.
really thick. They feel it and they're like, all right, good enough. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, it's all about vibration. The more, the better, because that's how you can get into that crud that you haven't been able to get into with a standard bucktail because you get so frustrated.
Yeah, very true.
That's why I came out with them. So
have you had, and I know a lot of people have the misconception implanted in their mind of single hook for muskie is a horrible idea.
I understand, the theory that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I started out real early in the going. There was a guide up here by the name of Dwayne Horseman, and he got me on single eagle tails.
Okay.
and he loved fishing eagle tails, and that's kind of why I thought it could happen. That's why I thought the Ramit could work. Um, my theory with that is if you look at a treble hook, look at the gap you have on a treble hook, and then look at the gap you have on an extra wide gap EWG hook. If you go with a 4/0 versus a 4/0, you'd be amazed at the gap difference that you have between that point and the shaft of the hook.
Okay.
It's so the hooking option there is you've got a bigger area for that to happen.
Yeah.
Secondly, how many times have you actually had a fish hooked, but you couldn't get the hooks into them because they were they bit down on all the trebles, and you never did get any penetration with the hook? I mean,
Okay.
hasn't that happened to all of us?
Not me, because I don't catch fish. So I'll take your word though.
You're so tough.
No.
Well, with a single hook, what it does is it almost works like a circle hook.
Okay.
Because what happens is that when they bite down on it, it'll rotate. You don't get that rotation when you have a treble hook. You have to hit one of those three, meaning it's got to be off to one side or the other. The thing with the single hook is that you always catch them. You're generally, I mean, all the ones I've caught have been hooked in the side of the face.
Right in the corner.
Because it always lays over. Yeah, it always lays over, and you've got them there. They're right in the top of the the lip.
Now
but it's just.
Oh, go ahead, Janie.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you're the guest. Finish
Okay.
what you're saying.
So, in theory, I understand where you only have one hook versus three, but when you have one that's working more efficiently, because you can actually drive that hook in, versus, three, you're trying to catch the right angle, trying to get it.
I was thinking that very similarly, of the amount of force to possibly penetrate with like two hooks on the treble compared to just one hook. All that force that you're driving into that hook set is going in one hook.
Yeah. And oftentimes, I got to be honest with you, oftentimes, I mean, I've taken kids, and they're not setting the hook really hard. It's more the fact that the fish is almost doing it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're hitting with such drive. If you've got a resistance, that single hook just kind of plants itself.
I think I have a weak hook set, so I think that favors me greatly.
Well, and the thing is that with the split belly plastics on that essential bass hook, Texas rigging it like you were describing, it's by the time they hit that bait, there isn't that much of that gap that's taken up by the plastic because of the split belly in the plastic. So it's not like you're putting it through, because I have questions from people that way also, where they'll look and say, yeah, but this plastic, doesn't it, how do they get hooked up? Well, when they hit it, the actual plastic is only maybe eighth to, depending upon the size of the plastic, obviously, but maybe an eighth of an inch to a quarter, and it's soft. It's just soft rubber. So when they bite on it,
it pierces down. It goes down. Yeah.
Right out of the way. Yeah. So.
I mean, it's not like you're trying to rip the hook out of a sucker,
Right.
where it's
right.
meat and bones. It's just some plastic.
Yep. And the way they hit it, they usually pop it right through, and it's out of the way.
So Janie, Mike Etzel is wondering where his baits are. That's a question.
Tell them they were shipped out on Monday.
Okay, they were shipped on Monday, Mike. John Carlson says Northern Wisconsin slop is the best. I don't disagree with that. Michael Kane, do you find muskie and slop even later in the season, say July and early August, specifically up north? I haven't done much boat fishing for muskie and also just started exploring the North Woods the last couple of years. So I know you were talking about the pencil reeds in the early season. What about a little bit later in the mid-season?
Later on and in the mid-season, then it's great because you'll get the lily pads will come up, and you can cast on the lily pads, and just off that drop right off the lily pads, usually it's got some type of vegetation, whether it's kunte or cabbage. That's where I focus. I focus on that, and I focus on the cabbage coming off of, bars. But yeah, depending upon what kind of structure, what kind of lake I'm hitting, there's numerous lakes up here. There's a little sleeper lake called Round Lake, which has got a lot of lily pads around it, and then it goes right into cabbage and some coontail. It's got a lot of weeds to it, and I can get them out of there, no problem. There's another lake, if he's looking up this way, it's cabbage, and that's Palmer Lake. Maximum depth there is only about 15 feet for the most part.
Wow.
And it's loaded with awesome weeds, and those fish, they inhabit it, and you're not able to really get in there and fish them. So there's a lot of them in that thick stuff that haven't really gotten to see a bait. They haven't had to. They're not so lure shy because in those lakes get a lot of pressure, but they can't get in that structure.
They don't have a ram it, that's why.
You need a ram it.
You need a ram it.
Dan. It's on the package.
Yeah. So I think last summer I was up north. I think we camped on Star Lake. And there's a little lake, I think it was west of there, with a whole
Ballard and Irving?
I don't remember. It had a whole bunch of wild rice on it.
Irving.
I don't know. I just thought that was cool that I was fishing wild rice for muskie. I wish I had a ram it because my stuff kept getting hung up. That's a great lake. It's got lots of fish, lots of nice muskies in it, lots of action. It has what they call the slot on it, which is kind of on the north end, I guess that would be. Runs along that shoreline, and once it gets hot and the water warms up, the fish kind of migrate into there behind the island. So it's a nice lake to fish. Yeah, we didn't see anything.
Nothing?
Nah, I'm telling you, Janie, I don't catch fish. Like, I'm here to make fancy lures and talk to awesome fish catching people. Like, that's why I made this show, so I have a legitimate excuse to talk to a whole bunch of people who know how to catch fish. Like, come on my show. I have a show, guys, so I can ask you all these awesome personal questions about spots and everything. And it worked out. Here we are. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Right. It's perfect.
So Adam Swiklinski's got a very specific question. I thought he was kidding, but he's not. What's your take on pencil reeds on a rock structure, super shallow, transitioning into a 7-foot cabbage flat?
I'd be there every day.
There you go, Adam. Keep fishing it, bud.
Adam, hit it, because you'll be able to go right off those pencil reeds and go right into that deeper structure, and you know that they're hanging out there because you know the panfish are going to be in on those pencil reeds.
All day.
Perfect.
Like, especially like you said, the crappies, for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Definitely, it's a home run.
What do we got next? Jerry Geiger. It was 1 second. I think that's your brother?
It's worse. It's my husband.
Your husband. Oh.
Oh, no.
I was kind of right-ish, somewhat. I got the male aspect right. Will you take me musky fishing, Janie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She said yes.
Doesn't stand a chance. He's going. We were just recently married, so this is.
Oh, have you? Well, congratulations.
Well, thanks.
Has he caught one yet? Does he musky fish?
No, he likes to fish he's a walleye fisherman, of all things. He's a walleye guy.
That's all right.
But,
it could be bass. I mean, could be worse.
Hey, come on.
Hey, I fish for bass. I just like to, talk smack. I like to pretend to be a musky fisherman.
Well, I took him bass fishing and caught bass, so now I have to perform here. I gotta get him a muskie.
Well,
but it will happen. I have faith.
I hope so. Mike, yes, I do live vicariously through you guys. It's very true. Very, very true. So Janie, your plans for opener? What are you doing? Where are you going? You don't exactly need to tell me specific lakes. What you casting? Give me the day in the life of Janie opening day this year.
Of muskie or of walleye?
Yeah, of muskie.
Oh, good.
I mean, we can do walleye if you want to.
Nah.
Okay.
I'd be ice fishing. Actually, what I might do is go down to a couple of the smaller lakes where there's some current and just see if there's a couple of culverts and just see if they pitch some crankbaits in there and see if any walleye slid in there. When it opens up, usually it's fun to go down along the east shore of Trout Lake because it's all rock and that's prime spawning grounds. So you can just wade out about, with waders somewhere between knee deep and cast out. And it's pretty successful method out there. For me, muskie, I'll be going to a darker water, weedier lake, probably like Wildcat Lake.
Okay.
Which is just north of Boulder. Wildcat's a great lake. It's got lots of weeds to it. It's got some islands where it drops off real fast. Really good panfish population in there, and there's a couple bays that are real dark water, real dark bottom. So it'll warm up a little faster, and hopefully those fish will be recouped from spawn just because it's going to be later this year. So the warmer the water, the better off I think we'll all be.
Is that why you're specifically targeting darker water, darker bottom bays or lakes?
Yeah, that muckier bottom bays, just because it'll be a little warmer.
Okay.
I think they're gonna look to try to soak up some heat and recoup. Food source is better there too, although it's all gonna depend on our water temperatures. What's gonna be happening, but that's my kicker. I'm gonna be shooting that way.
What are you throwing?
I'll probably be throwing a rammet just because there's a lot of down wood and stuff in there also. So I won't get stuck, but I can go off of those lily pad areas where there's not lily pads yet, but a lot of down timber in there. And then there's, along the islands, the same thing. I can, hit around those edges where there's a bunch of down trees and a bunch of mud on the flats. So.
Okay.
Kind of going to have to. I think this year you're going to have to be kind of versatile, just because depending upon again our water, what that's gonna mean. But I think they're going to be looking for some type of structure, looking for easy food. So bluegills should be coming up about that time. So
kind of the normal-esque thing, but this late ice out is definitely throwing a little bit of a curveball into where and what you're doing.
It is.
And kind of where the fish are going to be, like what stage of the spawn they're going to be in.
Yeah, how far recouped they're going to be. They're probably going to still be, I doubt that they're going to be singled. You're probably still going to see fish, paired up a little bit, scooting along the shorelines. Smaller lakes again will be a little warmer, so that's why Wildcat's not that large of a lake. So that's kind of the method there. Same with probably high end fish trap. I like fishing those too because there's a lot of versatility there. You've got islands to fish around. You've got structured some back bays that are going to be a little muckier, a little warmer.
Actually, Adam just asked if, Janie, do you get out on fish trap or high lake at all?
I do.
You just
I
answered
love
that question.
Two lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both good lakes, and it's easy to if one's not going, the other one usually is is a culvert in the middle, and it takes boats, 16 footers, 17 footers, no windshield type of thing.
Okay.
But there's Rush Lake is like part of the river channel that would connect the two, and that's also got some nice cabbage and stuff in it too that should warm up really fast. You usually see sea fish in there, looking for that warmer water real early. So
fair enough. So you kind of have your options open for lakes. You kind of have some different options.
That's the good news about Boulder Junction is we have like 94 lakes within a 10-mile radius of town. So we have a lot of water to kind of, you can be a little flexible because there's so many. We don't have rivers per se, so we're in lake country. So there's a lot of options here. And
I'm kind of jealous.
There's a lot, and it's there's so many. Sometimes it's a little mind-boggling, but the Lake Irving is a awesome early first fish type of water because it's shallow, it warms up fast, darker, like you said, pencil reeds. It's kind of a pain to fish, but it's good. Then it's right on the other side of the road is Ballard, where you've got deeper water, cabbage, lots of cabbage. It's connected to white birch, which is good too. So and fishing around the island, throwing some big game, twitching minnows, those are always killer too.
So with that, you said it. I always get confused. It's Memorial Day, correct? That's opener?
Yes.
What's the other one? Labor Day? Labor Day is the other holiday I get mixed up with. Okay, Memorial Day. So how busy does it get up there in Boulder Junction during Memorial Day? Like, how hard is it to find a place to stay? Like, if people are planning to go up that way, should they start booking like a hotel or lodge now?
It would probably be a good idea. It all, there's a lot of graduations that go that time too, but it is a holiday weekend. We do have a number of motels in town, and we do have some really nice resorts still in the area that should be able to accommodate people. Plus, a lot of times people are the campers for the most part. They really come Memorial Day weekend because we have so many camping opportunities in the area. There's a lot of different lake campgrounds. Stage especially since we're in the Northern Highland, half of the Northern Highland American Legion State Forest. So there's a lot of camping opportunities, and it's busy, but it's there's usually places available.
Okay, so you don't really need to get on the phone now and start hunting someplace, but the sooner the better.
The sooner the better. If you're looking at a resort, because a lot of those people they come back every year. The resorts are a little tougher. Motels, there's always a turnover there, so there's good options.
So we got another question in from Terry Reintz, Reints. Janie, why did you go with a headless design on your new spinnerbait?
Because it causes it to run more true. With the headless, you'll get a lot of wobble. Another option that I'm not a real troller. I don't really do that. But the way this is designed, it actually tracks better. So at low speeds, I was told that it can be trolled as well. At low speeds, it'll troll. I'm not really good at that. So the whole trial, the whole trolling aspect isn't, I don't do that. I row trolled for years, but I never, then it was always crankbaits, so I'm not used to this whole, musky trolling thing. So, but it's supposed to track more in line with the design.
Huh.
Research proves that you're supposed to be, it is supposed to track truer. And the other thing with the Whammet, it has ball bearing snap swivels on there. They're those fast snaps, so they don't get hung up. But you can adjust the arms so that you can put on different blades. I went with French just because all my baits are French.
So this is the Whammet, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I need Janie's custom tackle. I haven't seen it. I must have
It's
overlooked.
brand new.
It's on the website, correct?
Yes, it is.
Whammet. There it is. All right, guys. Let me switch over to this mode. Bam. Whammet.
There it is. Whammet, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. It's a twin arm. It's got ball bearings with the attached swivel. Like I said, they're going to come out to you with brass and nickel blades, but the option to you is that you can replace them with any blades. So you can people have asked for, why can't I get orange blades? Well, pretty much because the paint's going to chip off them, and if I do it, you're going to turn in the bait to me.
Okay. I like that.
But
so that's very versatile. I mean, you can go all the way up to what size weight is on the bottom of that?
That's got a 1 ounce weight.
Okay. So I mean, you really can go on to tiny little Colorado blades. You're all the way up to,
right.
Crap. I mean, if you spread those arms far enough apart, you can put 12s on there if you really want to.
You can manipulate it to kind of, pretty adaptable. Whether you want to go with, a Colorado, Indiana, you could go with Willow on there. It's just a matter of how they're gonna clack. It's going to be a different vibration with every time you switch it up.
And the way that you have it bent, when it comes to you, do the blades clack? Is that very regular?
They're going to hit each other, especially if you're doing that ripping technique.
Yeah. Okay.
So you may have to, depending upon, in shipping and everything, but it's a pretty heavy gauge wire. But if you're finding that it's, you're not getting the clacking that you want to, or if it's too close, just all you got to do is, widen them out a little bit. And especially if you put a bigger blade on, you're going to want to widen that out a little bit again.
Now, what would happen if you put a bigger blade on one side and that normal French blade on the other? You think it's going to, drift? Wander? You get what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I do. That wasn't one of the things I prototyped. I didn't throw it with two different kinds of blades on it.
Huh.
Never thought of that. Owen, way to go.
Well, all right. No one tried it. Doesn't work. She tested it. It doesn't work. No one do it. Okay.
Well,
Not
why
yet.
don't you go see if that?
I might have to.
You might.
Huh.
But
yeah,
that's why that structure. But that hook got its shrink tube, so it's an 8/0 hook on there. So it's got a big hook. It really looks good if you take a 6-inch Magambo tail and put it on there.
Now, what one's that?
That's that big. It's a Kalen Magambo tail. It's a
okay.
It's a long, auger tail, big twister tail type thing. That looks good on there too.
It's a unique looking spinner bait, because you look at it and you're like buzz bait, and then you're like French blades. Never mind, that's not okay.
Yeah, is. It's a real unique, I try to do things out of the box.
Oh, that's good. We don't need just the
So,
regular spinnerbait. Another one. There's enough of them.
yeah, this one's unique. It was mentioned once before. Someone said it's a lot like the old Shannon spinner type of thing, and yeah, it's just a larger, beefed up version of some of the things that we had success with years ago.
So the Rammet was the first bucktail, correct? In the line?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And so how long have those kind of been in the scene? Like, available to the public?
Brought those out in 2011.
Okay.
So that bait's been out there for quite a while now, and it's been, it's versatility.
Because I'm not gonna lie. One, I'm kind of new to musky fishing, like 3-4 years, whatever. But when Joel told me about these, I had no idea what he was talking about until he showed them to me, and it kind of just blew my mind. It's very unique, very, very unique.
And it's, the first thing was I had in that small size, and musky fishermen want them bigger and better, and so then I came out with them, and I think 2 years later, a year later, I prototyped it, and then 2 years later came out with, on the market, the mag, and it's available in the silicone skirt or in a tinsel version.
Oh, okay.
So it is available in both.
And you said Dick Smith's down on my side of town has them, correct?
They have some. I just actually got the order from Becky, so I'm not sure what she ordered for this season. But she's had both of them in stock in the past. So, yep.
All right, I'm going to need to go get some of those.
Go talk to Becky.
I will talk to Becky. I'm going to tell Becky to order more of them.
Perfect.
So.
Got that.
So, Janie, what were you going to say?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. So towards the end of the every episode, I ask a very important question to each of my guests. So, Janie, what's your funniest boat launch story?
You're killer.
So either it happened to you, it happened to the truck before you, involved your friend, your husband, an animal.
I think probably some of the better ones are. I was out in a boat. I was out with my boat and waiting to take out, and there was somebody putting it at the landing, and he had at least done all of his pre-work. He had waited and got everything set, but in his haste, he failed to do two things that were kind of important. The one was the boat plug, which is pretty, that's pretty standard. But so that was bad enough. But then he forgot to take the rear tie downs off.
Yeah.
So he had a real calamity going on there. It wasn't good because he had unhooked the bow, so the bow's actually swinging off the trailer. Yeah, it was a real cluster.
And the back just went down with the trailer with no plug in it whatsoever.
Yeah, it just kept going down, but the bow wasn't hooked, so the bow just floated off the trailer.
Oh my goodness.
So it was really sad, and I couldn't watch anymore. I just started and I went to the other side of the lake. I didn't do anything. I just went, I can't help you, and
there's nothing you can do.
No, I just had to leave. It was so sad.
Oh boy.
It was gone when I came out, though.
Oh, that's all that matters. The boat launch was clear.
He did figure it out. He figured it out. He somehow, and it was two people. So the one that was supposed to be hanging on to the rope didn't do so well in the front.
They did learn a valuable lesson. They did.
They did. They did. How does that rate with some of the other ones?
That's a funny one because usually it's just the boat plug or the tie down, the back tie down straps, but this time it was both, so it's going down. It's not like you have a moment to like kind of hesitate and be like, oh crap, the plug, and pull back out while it's still kind of floating. But no, that's bad.
Yeah, the full bow floating off of the trailer was that was classic.
Oh boy, I think Joel on my last episode got very, very upset over the mannerisms of people at boat launches. So I'm thinking about starting a petition to make Joel an honorary like instructor at like Pewaukee Lake boat landings. That's what I'm thinking. So if that ever goes,
yeah,
just show up to his door with like 1,000 signatures. Here you go, Joel. Class starts on Saturday, bud.
They'll be lined up for him.
They would be. They would. So, Janie, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for explaining into very detail about your line of lures that you make, your bucktails, your rammets, jammets, slammets, and now the whammets. Check her out. Check her out on Facebook. Janie's Custom Tackle on Facebook. Janie'sCustomTackle.com. And like you said, there's a list of all your all the stores that those are at. Correct?
Correct. There is.
Perfect. And is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience or me?
I just want to say thank you so much for calling, for bringing me on, and I want to thank everybody for listening. And if you have any questions, give a shout. Send me a Facebook, whatever. I'll get back to you. If you ever have any questions, please call.
Perfect.
We're in this because we love to do it. So the more help you can give to people and increase chances and just get them out in the outdoors, I am all about getting people in the outdoors.
Perfect. Check her out, guys. If you like fishing weeds, that's the line of bucktails you need to be throwing. Check them out. Thank you, Janie, so much for coming on, and I will see you hopefully not at the expo, but sometime in between.
Awesome. I can't wait to. Thanks, Colin.
Not a problem. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there's Janie. Bam. Sorry, guys, for the first episode, or the first part of this show. I had audio technical difficulties. Were getting very bad. Echoing. I'll be deleting that video so that no one needs to watch me scramble and look frantic about audio. That sucked. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be something wrong. But that's the fun part about going live. Always the unexpected happens, of course. With that being said, I don't know who is going to be on next week. I'll find out probably, I don't know when. I know that southern half of the state has opener this weekend. So guys, good luck. Be safe. So the 8th. I'm not sure. You got any suggestions? Let me know. Comments, feedback. I would love to hear feedback and comments. There's not enough feedback for my show. I do plan on going forward having my show be take up the main portion of my hobby time. So this will probably be overtaking the lure part of my hobby. So please, feedback for the show. PM me, email me, Facebook comment, anything. Let me know how I'm doing, what I can change, how I can get better. Any guests that you would like to see on, let me know. The season starts, guys, this weekend. I'll be out somewhere. I don't know when, but I will be. So until next Tuesday, I think my work schedule changes. Till next week, guys. Everything's slime in prime time. Musky talk. Insert day that I'm, I don't work. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night and happy opener this weekend.